So today in our mudhouse series, we're going to talk about plastering. How do you plaster the walls? And also stay tuned till the end to watch a little secret on how do we get our mud walls so smooth. There's a secret recipe out there. So stay tuned. Definitely a hot day at OurLand, and the team is working on plastering the mud house. We are plastering it with mud paste right here, rice husk mixed with mud, and on top of that is what it used to look like. The thing about mud house construction, as I mentioned way before, is that it is non-toxic. So that means that you can touch it and there's no chemicals going into your body. This is a freehand technique. Jay the jungle boy working on the mud mix. So you can use this mud for plastering the walls. Now, one of the interesting things you can note over here is when it comes to the design of the wall itself, we are opening the brick 45-degree angle. It makes the whole wall, the whole door look bigger, and also brings more focus to the door frame itself. Rungpa over here, who is one of the local monks, but also an expert in mud house creation, knows his mud house really well. He's focusing on the corners. As you can see how nice the corners look, nice and sharp. Nice little corner right here. Goes all the way down. He'll also fix up this stuff. These bricks fell off over here because the elephant pulled it down. Also today we're going to go on the inside, and we're going to be plastering on the inside. As you can see over here, Pimong's already started the plastering process for the day. I must say that the temperature inside this house is already fairly cooler than the outside. We've got 30 degrees in here, and outside it is, I'm definitely sure it's 35 degrees. Level 1, cover up the big holes. Level 2, smoothen it out. And then level 3, plaster the whole wall. Plastering is a part of every house, whether it's a concrete house or a mud house. The main purpose of plastering could be two. One is the aesthetics. It makes it look very nice, very smooth. And the other thing is that it also provides a level of insulation. But with the mud house, there is another level that also provides, and that is protection. Because remember, on the inside, all you have is a mud brick. And a mud brick is primarily just mud and the rice husk. So if you don't have the plastering on the outside, then your mud brick is exposed to the sun and to the rain. I mean, of course, you do have your roof on top that protects that, but it'll still get exposed over several decades. It could damage the inner core brick of your wall. So for that purpose, you have to plaster your wall. If you do, on the other hand, want to have something a little different, like this over here, the exposed brick design. Now, to be honest with you, this isn't actually the actual brick on the inside. This is just an external plastering layer that we designed to look like a brick. The actual brick is way deep inside the structure itself. So if you want something that has exposed this brick design, please make sure you design that outside separately and maybe not show the actual brick on the inside. You can, there are ways to do that, but I guess it does that sometimes maybe compromise the safety of the brick on the inside itself. So with that, let's get down to more plastering. So as our mud house goes along, we are now preparing the fine mud. You're going to be sifting this, and you're going to use that to plaster the walls. First thing is to dry it out. So let's take a look at how it's being collected right now. We've got some extra mud from this channel that we dug, right? And the channel that takes water away from the house. This right here, nice mud. So what you're looking at here is a process of creating very fine mud. It feels like coffee grounds. What we did is very simple. We just got dirt that we dried up, put it into this little net over here, and out of it comes fine mud. This mud will then be used to plaster our walls. Now, one of the most important ingredients in making a nice mud house is this right here. This is, they call pengman, or basically tapioca flour. 2 bags of tapioca flour are going to be mixed with 12 liters of water. The benefit of the tapioca flour is that it gives almost a plastic-like sheet cover on the wall itself, so that it is waterproof. And we've got some more water going on our biogas unit right here. Next part is to add in the cooking oil into our boiling water. And we have got our tapioca flour mix into this. Right away, you can see there's like a glutinous jelly-like formation on the top. This is exactly what we're looking for. And get the super duper plastering mixture that we require plaster onto the walls of the mud house. Now, of course, this is the part that you can't feel, but actually it is very hot because this just came off the stove and the tapioca flour is boiling. And I can really feel the heat coming on. This, what we have here, is mud mixed, pure, very fine mud mixed with oil, cooking oil, and tapioca flour, thanks to Pimong for his special recipe, right? And you can see over here, this is all the mud. And how you do this is you take a little bit of mud on this side, scoop it back up, whoop, and then you plaster it onto the wall. After we did this plastering process, we're going to plaster it one more time, and then finally we're going to use the final plastering process. Now you can see over here that the mud mixed with the tapioca flour and the oil is just totally pasty, almost a plastic layer over the top of the wall. So you don't get that hard wall in which pieces can fall off, as you can see this. It prevents that from happening. So the mud house is almost complete. We've just got some final finishing touches to put in. So join us in the next episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe.